Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here, coming to you live from Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is Tuesday, and the market is moving nicely today. Interestingly enough, what's happening today is the small caps seem to be getting some love. So I just wanted to kind of, look in on that and then get to your questions. So just without further ado, let's take a kind of a look at, what's happening today. Basically, I want to kind of show you the market direction here. We're continuing to move up strongly, which is good. I mean, the S&P 500 is up 1.40. Dow Jones is up as well, and of course, as I mentioned before, the Russell 2000. This is basically the 2,000 largest stocks that are listed. Many of these are in the Nasdaq, but it's interesting because, as of late, it's been, the story really has been the mega cap stocks, but now some of these smaller stocks are getting some good, some good stuff here. So it's a good thing coming, and we shall see how that lines out. Just want to kind of show you the Russell 2000 here, and basically what it is, of course, is we're moved up nicely, and then 200, maybe a key level, the key level being basically where the let's see if I get that pointer. There we go. Oh, having some issues with this today, but anyways, move back to the right slide here. There we go. Okay, so we're moving up very nicely, and as you can see, it's been very, very strong. So very, very strong upward motion. So basically, what this means is that some of the funds are now going into a lot of IPOs. I have an IPO to show you that I bought today. Very interesting, and I do think that we're going to see some some of the secondary issues pick up some of the good stuff here. Also, just wanted to show you about the Spider. Of course, this is probably the world's largest ETF. Many people have their entire savings in it. And this is basically the S&P 500, or it's trades under the symbol SPY. It is up, and it's over a key level. The key level being about 350. It's at 390. Moving up on the 400 level. So again, very strong, just all the way around. So we seem to have shaken off last week, and we seem to be moving higher. So that indeed is good. Just also want to show you the Qs. Now, these are the mega cap stocks. This is where many of the biggest stocks live in this in this ETF. This is the QQQ Trust, and it basically covers the Nasdaq 100, and it's up as well too. Key level on this is about 305. We're well above that, so it's looking good on that as well. Really wanted to show you the stock that I basically moved into today. It's an interesting company. It's an AI company in California. I guess it's in Redwood City. It just moved up very, very strongly today, as you can see. Relative strength at 88. It moved up, and it's traded with the symbol AI. A lot of very, very big institutional investors coming into this one. And it's already up today, and I did buy it on the gap up. I had it on the ready list, but I got in it. Now, I did sell some things just to make room for some of the other ones. I did sell Microsoft. It was kind of, it was okay, but it was moving slowly. I sold, and I sold two of my other issues, but currently this is what I'm in. Blink Charging, it's been doing great. It's up $7.10 today at about $59.20. I have a concentration in this one. It's up about 13% today, which is pretty good. Tesla's off a little bit at $8.45. It's been up so much. I mean, I did very well, of course, last year on Tesla, as a lot of other people did as well. I'm kind of waiting. It's kind of in a trading range from about 805 up to about maybe 865. I think if it moves beyond that, I think we'll see some nice stuff as well. Of course, I'm in Palantir. This is another Peter Thiel company. It's up pretty strongly today, about 5%, 37.85. Now, this is also an IPO. as well. And again, I'm in Virgin Galactic. I'm going to be holding this into the earnings and then probably selling. That's typically what I do with Virgin Galactic. It's a lot of excitement into the earnings, and then usually the earnings will disappoint. So I'll be a seller probably coming into the earnings there, but I'm in it right now. And I'm in DraftKings, which is a kind of an interesting one. They had I think the Super Bowl was a real, it was interesting, but it was very low ratings this year. But DraftKings, I think, is the future of sports gambling. So that's kind of a good one, too. It's only up 35 cents today, but it's been quite strong. Another sector that I've sort of targeted is the energy, the alternative energy area. And I did buy some fuel cell today, 28.60. And then, of course, I talked about AI, which is the C3 AI Incorporated. And that did gap up today. So those are kind of, what I've been been doing in terms of the market. So without further ado, let's get to some of the questions. And I'm just pulling up my charts here right now. There we go. Good deal. All right, super. And let's take a look at some of the questions. Thanks for holding on here. Let's see what we can find. Sid Vicious, I love the name. On Trust All as well. Would you do analysis of zone? It's in 3D printing. Let's take a look at it. XNE. And 3D printing is a major kind of a great disruptive technology. Okay. There we go. There we go. There it is. XNE X1, and it's in New Huntington, Pennsylvania, according to this. All right, let's take a look at kind of this chart. So I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. First, I'm going to go to the weekly. It's really just again, this is one of the small caps, that's just sort of really, moving strongly. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit and just kind of analyze it a little bit and see what we've got. Oh, went a little bit too far. There we go. Okay, so hopefully this will give us a kind of a good look at it. This is a classic. By the way, everybody, this formation here, this is what they call a climax top. You see, what happened is we had a buy point here, and the buy point, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, on a consolidation base, let me move this out a little bit so we can kind of get in here a little bit. But typically, this is what will happen is, what makes a stock move up, and a lot of people don't realize it's what makes a stock move up is the fact that you have what they call the strong hands that are unwilling to sell. And in this case, what happened was we were, you see this this formation here, this is called a consolidation. And then when we came right up to this level, well, nobody was willing to sell out. And that's when the supply ran away and it started to move up high. And it's moving up just tremendously. It's at 64.83. Now, the question is, do we have a short squeeze on this one? Hopefully that's not the case. But it looks as if, somebody is accumulating this very strongly. So let's kind of see here what we've got. Well, we have a lot of funds in this, 117. That's looking good. Of course, it does have a negative cash flow, but that's not as important as increasing sales. That's the most important thing here. So let's look at the kind of the criteria and look at the checklist. The checklist on this is excellent, by the way. It's 88%. So that's really, really good. The only thing it's lagging is in earnings per share. The question is, let's look at the industry. Wow, it's in number 4. This is in 4 out of 197. So the rank on this is very, very good. It's got about a $31 billion value, and the funds seem to be coming into this very, very nicely. It's gone to 108 and 117. So we have some very nice funds coming in here. Now, can you buy it at this level? Well, unfortunately, I believe Ford kind of missed the bus on this one. This is very, very extended right now. As you can see by this little Easter egg, we had the largest volume since this last base. So people have been buying into this one. Will this one pull back? Is there a place to buy it? Wow, I don't know. Let's see if we can kind of find some place that we might, this is an excellent stock, but I definitely believe it is extended, and it's going to be a little bit tough. Yeah, this is the daily. Wow, look at this daily. Unbelievable. It it broke out from the 1689 buy point, and then it just moved right up, and then boom, when it hit the right here, they ran out of the strong hands. All the weak hands were out, and then we went up. Here's the thing. You know what? You could buy this right now, but here's the thing. If you bought it, here's the thing. You want to set your stop loss basically right at this level here. And let's get an idea exactly where that stop loss is. Okay, so that's going to be that stop loss is about at let's see if I can. I have to zoom out a little bit to see if I can exactly see that. So let's go to the there we go. All right, so there we go. So if you were to buy this now, you would want to set your stop loss at about 51.30 on that. So if you did buy that, and it is a little bit, and again, it's a little bit dangerous to buy it at this level. I'll be honest, but if you did buy it, if you did buy this, one, set stop loss at 51.30. Give you an idea of there. This is not really a good point. This is not really great, but if you bought set your stop loss for 51.30. Let me just put that in there right now. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to have to ignore that one. And do not disturb. Great. All right. So let's save that and put that out there. Yeah. Well, that's not the right. I got the wrong thing up there. But 51.30 is where you want to set that stop loss. So let me kind of rearrange the deck chairs here. All right, so 51.30. Is this a good stock? It's a little extended, but if you did buy this, you can set that at 51.30. Let's see if we can get a question from TikTok. All right, so going back to the top here. Thanks for everybody joining. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we got a question. Looking. Okay. What do you think of this? Is from let's see, KROGBA, Kroba, I think is OGEN. Let's look at it. OGEN. GEN. All right. Develops antibiotics. Okay, so this is this is definitely in the medical space. That's been pretty good. It's definitely had a I don't think you want to do this one. I think you want to avoid this one, even though it's got a relative strength of. Here's the thing: it's just too cheap a stock. I think that I know that you're probably not going to want to hear this, but from me. But here's the thing: it's quite dangerous buying stocks typically under under $10. It just is, because 25 cents is a quarter of the value of the issue. I just wouldn't. I would maybe watch list this one, but I don't think you want to. It's got a 44 checklist. That just isn't good enough. The industry, it's pretty good, 20 out of very good actually, but I think you just want to avoid this one. So I would avoid this. I just think it's too thin an issue right now for you to do anything with. So that's sort of my opinion on that one. All right. Oh, hey, from Norway. Is GBTC extended? Very, very good question. By the way, everybody, GBTC is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And as you know, if you've watched me for a while, that I do really like this issue. I really do like this issue because this is a good way to buy and sell Bitcoin. And, no, I wouldn't say this one is extended. And here's why. And here's why. Because of this prior peak. Okay, so we're buying right below, and look at that. It's just, yeah. So 48. So really, it's not a true buy point because this is an ETF, but I don't think this is extended, by the way, because we've already tested at 48.65. So I do think you could buy this at this level. Now, if you do buy this at this level, be very careful and set your stop loss accordingly. And here's what I would do. If I was buying this right now, I would set my stop loss at 46.60. And why would I do that? Well, because when you come in, you want to set your stop loss right. There we go. If I can do that, there we go. You want to set it right at the bottom of where the spike comes. You see, yesterday we had a huge volume spike, and today we're having a very, very strong day. So if you buy it, this is where you want to set your stop loss. Right at about here, or about 46.60 is where you want to set it. So here's what I would do with that. Let me see if I could. Yeah, there we go. See it a little bit better. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. So what I would do is I would set for GBTC. I would set stop loss at 46.60. And the reason I would set it there, and I do think it's buyable right now, is because this is typically how you want it. This is how you want to do it. If you're right, then it will continue moving up. But if it pulls back, then it's not ready yet, and it's not ready to go higher. There's resistance at 48.65. So yeah, I do believe this is going to move higher because of this incredibly strong relative strength. If you'll notice, this blue line is moving up. That means this is being accumulated. So here's the thing. There's resistance right at this level at 48.65, and we're moving up. So if I were buying this right now, I would set a relatively tight stop loss. I know this could be kind of boring, but at 46.60. Then, of course, that's in dollars, 46.60. I don't know exactly what it would be in euros, but that's where I would set it because I do believe we're going to see some more strong action on it. Let's look at the checklist. God, it's 77, and for ETF, this is incredible. It's like 100% on a regular fund. So here's the thing I would say: buying the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I do believe that if it moves past 48.65, it's probably going to head higher. So, but if you do buy it today, you want to set that stop loss at 46.40. Very, very important. I really appreciate this. Question. I think that the GBTC offers a very, very good way to own Bitcoin, and I do think it's a coming thing. So, very, very good on that. So let's see. Okay, next question. Thank you, good. I appreciate it. Hi, Jim. What's your thoughts on a symbol TTCF? Let's look at TTCF real quick. TTCF. Well, I don't know this one. Okay, this is Tattooed Chef. All right, very cool. I haven't heard about this one. I haven't heard about this one. Tattooed Chef. Well, here's the thing. It manufactures plant-based prepared foods and ingredients in California and Italy. Very cool. Okay, well, I'm originally from California, so that's a pretty cool thing. 24.12. Okay, so it's off a little bit today, but it seems like it's hanging right on the 21-day line. 84 relative strength. I'm liking that. I typically want to look for things that have at least an 80 relative strength. The relative strength line is declining, so I don't necessarily like that as much as I would like it increasing. But that is not necessarily, not necessarily bad. Now, here's the thing: the checklist just doesn't cause the mustard. Unfortunately, it's only 55%. I typically like to see at least 6 out of 9. So here's what I would say on this one. This one may get better. It absolutely may get better, but I think what we want to do here is on this one, I think we're going to watch list it. And basically what I mean by watch list is put this on a watch list, kind of track it over a period of time and see if it's going to get stronger. If it's getting stronger, then I think you want to go ahead with it. But right now, I don't think you want to buy it right yet. It's not ready yet. It's kind of like it's kind of like everything. We will sell no wine before it's time. So take a kind of a slow approach on this one. It's not ready to go yet. I think there's other opportunities with other than the Tattooed Chef. Though it looks very interesting, it just isn't strong enough for me. All right, what's a good point? What's a good point for AMD? AMD is, everybody was touting this. I was in this. I was shaken out several times, and it's got to do a reversal really before I'm interested in it more than I am now. Currently, always start with a weekly chart, by the way, when you're taking a look. Now, as you can see, we've moved up and we've moved below. We've moved right up to the 40-day line. Okay, so that's not bad, but essentially it's got this double bottom, which is a very strong short pattern. It moved past it, but it's then pulled back. This is getting ready to break out, by the way. Based on this chart, this is getting ready to break out. So here's how you want to attack that. I'm going to draw a trend line. Oops, let's see if I can get that trend line there. Yeah, I'm going to draw a trend line here. Okay, and what this trend line is that we don't know if this is going down or going up, but if this moves up like this possibly could be a very good buy. It looks like it's getting ready to break out. This is a very, very long handle here. It's because this is a double bottom, but this is also a handle. Usually there is a cup with a handle, but in this case it's a double bottom. This is a very good pattern. But here's the thing. This is getting ready to break out, but it's not there yet. The weak hands have not given out yet. They haven't not given out. So what do you do? Well, what I do is I'm going to set an alert here. If it moves above this, if it moves above this, and I'm gonna put this right at basically. Let's look at the price. Oops. Let's see if I can. Oh goodness. Let's see. Yeah, if it moves above about a 92, a 93, if it moves about a 92.50, then you probably want to buy it. But here's what you need to do. Don't buy it now because it's in a downward trend. You don't never want to buy in a downward trend. So here's what I recommend to do here. What you need to do is do what they call a buy, stop, limit order for, and I'm going to look at this here. I'm going to say, yeah, as it reverses about 92.50. Let's see. 92.50. All right. So what I'm trying, yeah, okay. Save that and show it. Okay, there we go. So here's what I'm trying to say here. So let's zoom in a little bit on it to give us a little better idea of what I'm talking about here. All right, there we go. All right, so this is AMD, and as you can see, the trend, there has been a downward trend. All right, but it looks as if we on this downward trend. It just won't let me do it. Yeah, on this downward trend, it looks like it's going to reverse. And if it reverses upward, that's where we want to buy it. We always want to buy an upstroke if we can get it. So the way we do this is with the buy, stop, limit order and a 92.50. So if this moves up on higher volume, we want to also see higher volume here. That's where you want to buy it. So that's what I would do. That is how I would buy AMD. So I appreciate that. That's a very good question. That's a very, very good question. So what I would do on AMD is set a buy stop limit order for 92.50, and as it moves above 92.50, that's where you want to buy it. But remember, we don't want to buy anything as they're moving down. We always want to buy it as it's moving up. We also want to sell as it's moving up too. So kind of an interesting arrangement there. All right, so let's take a look at the next question. Thank you for holding here. One of my favorites. This is a Dallas company. It's called Retractable Technologies. And basically what they do is they're in the, they have a special hypodermic needle that basically makes it so you can't stick yourself. Okay, well, there we go. You can't stick yourself. So let's go and take a look at RVP and look at the chart on it. And I have recommended this one several times. Okay, there we go. RVP, and hopefully you can see this on the screen. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. It's a relatively inexpensive stock. It's, currently at about 17. Let's just kind of look to see if there's, see what the situation is on. There's been a pullback to the 10-day line. So let me kind of show you that. There's been a pullback to this little pink line here. It's called the 10-day line. And that it looks as if it's pulled lower than that. Now, it probably will bounce higher than that. But really, we want to be careful on this. We don't want to buy it at this level. We want to buy it as it moves above about here. And the reason is because this is where there is some consolidation. So there is a ceiling here, and we want to buy it on the other side. So we really want to buy it more like at 21, right up here. Okay, now, can we do that? Well, let's look. It's got a relative strength of 98, so that's very good. I was looking at the daily chart, but let's pull back to the weekly chart. As you can see, it's just been moving right up this 21-day line, so it seems to be hugging this 21-day line. Can we get into it? Well, the profits have been very good on this, so that's good. There's a lot of fund sponsorship, and they've got strong cash flow, considering everything. So where could we buy this? Well, there's not really a great place to buy it. We really want to buy it off of a pattern like a cup with handle, double bottom, something like that. But right now we can't do that just because of the way this is. The only real place we can buy it is at this 21-day line. So let me pull over to the daily chart to kind of show you that. That's the 21-day line is right here. Now, as long as this stays, now, the stock is reacting very good. It really started acting good back here in September when it started to move above this green line, which is the 21-day line. Now, it's pretty much hugging this 21-day line. So the trend is definitely up. But the question is, can you buy it here? Well, I do believe you can, but you want to buy it as it moves across there. So where can you buy this? Right now, you can't really buy this one, unfortunately. This is essentially a watch list. You're going to have to wait on this. You're going to have to wait on it. I like this one a lot, but I don't think that you can you can buy this one right now. And here's why. I think you have to watch this one because it hasn't finished moving below. Now we have to see if it supports on the 10-day line. If it pulls below that, then we have to see if it supported at the 21-day line. What we want to see is a reversal. And right now we don't have that because we have it pulling down. So it's continuing this downward motion. So we kind of have to wait until this one moves to its base and then reverses higher. So right now, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a watch list on this one. I like the stock a lot. I've featured it several times, but I think that we're going to have to watch list it, unfortunately. Hey, MongoDB, this is an interesting stock. I'm sorry, MOGO. It's a Bitcoin penny stock shares. Ouch. Okay, well, let's even see if I can have it on my I don't really. I understand that people really like the idea of a penny stock, but it's better to buy a little bit better stock at a little bit higher price and fewer shares, because the problem with these is that they tend to, these are very volatile and you can lose everything very, very quickly. It is doing okay, $10.44. This is a Canadian company, and basically it provides an online lending platform. So I just don't know what this does, really. I mean, it's kind of vague. I'm not familiar with it. It's got a relative strength of 98, which is very good. It's been sort of, it kind of topped out at this 538, and then it looks like it's moved higher. So the question is the check? Well, the checklist isn't bad. 6 out of 9. It doesn't have a lot of funds in it. This is a relatively thin stock. This is the thing about this. There's nothing necessarily bad about it. It's just that there's not a lot in it. Now, here's the thing. Here's kind of one thing that kind of nixes it for me. I want to see at least 5 funds in the stock before I'm willing to commit to it. But that said, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look totally bad. Here's what I would do with this one. I just think you got to watch this. I really do. I think you have to watch this one, and but it may do well. I just want to see if it can hold above $10, and if it can, then I think that you might have something really good. But right now, it's just a little bit too thin. Are you just live here, or are you live somewhere else? Thank you for the question. This question came from this question came from TikTok. Absolutely, I am live on YouTube right now, and the address for YouTube, super easy, youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. So YouTube and then Dallas Trading Floor, all one word, and you're right, you're taken right there. So really appreciate that. By the way, if you want to take a look at it and you're watching on TikTok, it's super easy. All you do is just go to my profile, hit the link, and it'll take you to a little menu, and that'll have the live feed for the YouTube. So I appreciate that very, very much. Thanks for watching on TikTok, and hopefully take a look over on YouTube, because I'm showing the charts and everything on YouTube, and that's a good place to see it as well. All right, let's see. Buy some HEXO. Let's see, HEXO. I don't know what that is. All right. Well, we're having a little bit of, there we go, server problems. HEXO. EXO. Okay. Well, this is also under $10 stock. By the way, what I'm going to try to do, hopefully, is have a show here with under $10 stocks that are highly rated. Most of the time, when you buy under $10 stocks, they're not highly rated, so they're not that good. So let's look at this one. It's got a it's got a good checklist, 7 out of 9. The funds are in it, 27. That's not bad. And the industry and sector, well, okay, well, not bad. No, consumer product specialty group. I have no idea what that is. But it's a pretty large stock. Canadian company that offers cannabis, peppermint oil. That's that big area. Here's what I would do with the cannabis space, though. I think once you want to look at, here's the thing about, there's a lot of cannabis companies out there, and a lot of them are really good, and the Canadian companies really lead in this field. But there is a way to participate, kind of with a lower risk, and that's with a ETF called MJ, and it's been doing extremely well. And by the way, this is highly, highly fungible. So this is what I would recommend here for the cannabis stocks. And basically what this is this is a this is a cannabis. I think that's right. ETF. So, and it's called MJ. We know that's why it says MJ, but it is MJ. So this is a cannabis ETF that I like, called Alternative Harvest, and it does have a strong relative strength, 87, which is and has been moving higher. So that is indeed good. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit on it so you can kind of get an idea of it. I'm going to show you the weekly chart. Now, I was in this about 3 years ago. I haven't really done anything since. It's bottomed, and it's now starting to move higher. This is kind of my take on marijuana stocks. There are many good ones, but why buy one when you can buy a whole basket of them? Essentially, cannabis is a commodity product, so there's no real branding in it yet. So this is, I believe, a better way to play it. And this is with the ETF MJ, and it's been doing quite well. It's at 28, and it's been moving up nicely. So you might want to consider that one, taking a look at MJ for all of your cannabis ETF needs. I thought I would say that. Okay, great. Thanks, Kay. Hi, Jim. Please look at CVLT. Let's look at CVLT real quick. All right. Okay, CVLT. All right, and let's get a quick look. Oh yeah, look at this. Nice stock. In New Jersey. Develops backup and recovery. Okay, well, that's always good. It's a little bit lower than I normally like. It's 78. Let's kind of look to see what's going on here. 78 relative checklist. I'm liking that. The ownership, very good. Industry and sector, wow, 3. That's very good. Okay, so we're playing in the right place. The question is this is this the best of breed? That's the thing. And I don't think it is. I think we want to look potentially, if you're interested in this area, I think we probably want to look at something that's a little stronger. Let's look at MongoDB. It's MOGO. This is the one I believe in this space that, did I get that right? No, I didn't. MOG is what I'm looking for. This is MongoDB. Oh, symbol not found. Okay, well, let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, there we go. MongoDB. MDB, not MOB. I had it wrong. All right, this is the one I think you want to look at. Now, it's a little expensive. I know, $400. You're like, what? Jim, you're killing me. Well, here's one of the things. I think always it's better to buy a smaller amount, typically of a better stock, than more shares of a worse stock. And in this case, I think that this one, if you want to be in this space, and this is a great space, I think MongoDB is superior. It's got a relative strength of 90. I mean, you probably couldn't buy all that many shares of it, but even if you only buy 5 or 6 shares, that's not a bad thing. It's got an excellent checklist. So this is where I think you want to be on this instead of CVLT. But let's look at NEE to see if there's anything there as well. Let's look at that. All right, Nextra Energy, and oh, okay, in Florida, that's been a real growing market for energy. For sake of full disclosure, I did work as a financial analyst for an energy company here in Dallas, so a little bit of experience. It was in the electrical energy space. Now, here's the thing about this one I kind of want to share with you. This is just not as strong as we would like to see it. It's got some declining sales here. I'm not liking that. It's got a relative strength of 51. That's really not as good enough for me. So the checklist is not good enough. The ownership, well, it's got a lot of funds in it. Let's look at the industry and sector. Yeah, 190 out of 197, it's not a good fishing hole. So here's what I'm going to have to say on that one. I'm just really going to have to say, NEE, avoid. I just think you want to avoid it. I just think there's better places to be. There's just better places to be out there. So I think you've got to avoid this one. It's not really all that good. I don't think it's that good of an alternative there for you. So sorry about that. So watch list 1 and avoid the other one. So that's kind of what I've got for you on that. Opinions on CCIV and listed potential merger. I'll have to cable that one. I don't know enough about it to really give you a good idea on that. I'm just looking at some of the people that are coming in on TikTok right now. So let's look here. Oh, SNDL. I don't know that one. Let's look at it. SNDL. And this is Sundell Growers. Okay, this is another cannabis play. And again, here's the thing. Here's what I think on the cannabis. On the cannabis plays. The best thing to do, I think, with them is the thing is, cannabis is a commodity. So I don't really think you want to go with any one any one grower. I think you want to go with the entire industry, and the way to do that is with this ETF called MJ, and it's, as you can see, it's had very, very good performance here. So this is what I kind of recommend doing instead of going with the individual cannabis names. I think that with the individual cannabis names, it's just easier to get waylaid. So here's what I would do with the cannabis names. I would go with with a fund, with an ETF. That's how I would play it. That's how I would play it. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Thanks, Eric. Thoughts on Ajax? AJAX. AJAX. That name. Look at that. Wowie. Okay, this is a blank check company. Can't really give you an opinion on a blank check company because they haven't bought anything yet. So, so for the blank check company, really, I think what you have to do is, just wait until the blank buys something. So here's the thing. Wait until the blank check buys something. Here's what a blank check company is. It's basically people put a lot of money in, and then somebody goes out and they find a company that they want to IPO or do something like that. So you really can't judge them. They aren't really judgeable because you don't know what they're investing in. I mean, you just don't know what they're investing. So wait until they buy something, and then you can more accurately get a handle on kind of, just what they, just kind of what they're buying. So with a blank check company, you just have to be careful. You just have to be careful on that. Okay, so I suspect these are other, Eric. I suppose these are other blank check companies. Blank check companies, I know that there's a lot of tendency people want to jump in them, and people will say on the net, wow, I've made a lot of money on this, but I think you just want to be super careful on them. Let's look at Palantir, and of course I'm in Palantir, so I've been watching this one a lot closer. That's one thing about stock investing. You really should always consider, even if if you want to really look at a stock, you just buy a really small position, 1 or 2 or even 3 shares, because if you do that, you're going to watch the stock carefully, and that's definitely the case with Palantir. I was shaken out once on Palantir. I like the stock a lot. It has nice nice sales increases. It's still not profitable, of course. It's a growth company, but the funds are moving into it, and this is an IPO. So right now it's a relative strength of 97. It has a checklist. This is my minimum checklist, by the way, 66 out of 100 in terms of that. So looking pretty good. This is really the story on Palantir. We have this very nice uptick in terms of the funds that are coming in. It's 124 funds that are in currently. Let's kind of take a look at those fund ownership to see if we can get an idea of just who's in this. And this will give us kind of an idea. There are certain funds that are better than others in terms of being in funds. And, one of the things is, this is one of the things I always look for. When stocks are pushed up primarily by funds moving into them. So that's a very important criteria. If you have a lot of funds that are coming into it, then there may be something to look for. A lot of Vanguard funds in here. We've got BlackRock Technology. That's always good. Government Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. So yeah, these are some of the big heavy hitters on Wall Street. These are the big funds that are coming into it. So I'm pretty confident with funds like coming into it like this, that we're looking pretty good. So let's kind of look at kind of where it's been. Look for an entry point. All right, we're up again today. There was this buy point, this 33.50 buy point, as you can see, and this is what I'm talking about, a reversal. This is what happens on a reversal. I'm looking at the daily chart here, is that you can see it made its high at 45, and then you draw a line like this, and then as you can see, it's now moved above that. The proper buy point is as it's moving higher. So as it's moving higher, that's where you want to buy it. It's definitely pulled up. So the question is, if it can pull past this level here, this next level, let's zoom out just a tad. There we go. Okay, so if it can pull above this next little resistance here at about 39, then I think it's gonna move higher. So I definitely like this one. We are a little bit extended here. We're a little bit extended. Now, what does that mean? Well, typically the buy zone is from basically the pivot up 5%. So that's the buy zone, and that's kind of where you want to buy it. So we missed that. So it's not as good a place to buy it. Now, if you do buy it at this level, this is what buying extended is, then you set your stop loss right at the bottom of that blue bar. That's the correct place to put it. Now, you may get stopped out on this, but it looks as if there's some accumulation going on. So here's the thing. Right now, the stock is extended. So we might not want to buy it at that particular level, but it's definitely worth the time, because currently stock is extended above the 33.50 buy point. And there we go. So currently the stock is extended above the 33.50 buy point. So right now it's not really an optimal time to buy the stock, because let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit on Palantir. So I'm kind of zooming in so you can see it. All right. So basically, the situation here is this. This is 33.50 is the buy is the consolidation neckline. Okay, this is where the resistance is. It's pushed past the resistance, but then it fell back, and now it's pushing. It's moving the second time. Now, here's typically what happened with a stock like this. It usually takes 2 or even 3 times to go through this. So if you were to buy it here, it may pull back to this 33.50. So if you do want to buy it here, and this is called buying extended, you want to set your stop loss right below those bars, or basically, let's see if I can give you an exact number here. Basically right at about 34.50. Okay, so it may just continue going up, but if you buy it there, you are buying it a little bit extended. So that's what I would do. It may pull back a little bit more, and then as it's pulling back and it reverses, you want to buy it on that reversal. But the buy point for Palantir is 33.50. So thank you for that. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. Hi, Jim. I've been watching for a pullback on apps and FCEL. Oh, yeah, it's so tough. Oh, so tough. It's funny because I did buy I bought FCEL extended, which here I'm telling you not to buy it extended, and I'm buying it extended. Sometimes you have to, but it's not the best place. I can tell you that. It's not the best place to buy it. Let's look at FCEL, FCEL. Now, this is a particularly good one. I own this currently. I kind of got a little bit impatient here, and I bought it basically as it started to move above this 20 this line here. Now, normally this is not a good place to buy it. I'll be honest with you. Normally that is not a good buy point. Normally it is not. But as you can see, this is on such a run with 99 and a going up. This is going to pull back. So here's the thing: you can buy it at this level, but you've got to be willing to let it pull back a little bit. Oh goodness, I have looks like there we go. I lost my monitor there for a little bit. Let's kind of zoom in here on a little bit to kind of give you a good potential buy point. I'm on the daily chart here, by the way. Normally you want to start with a weekly chart and then move into the daily, but right now we are looking at the daily chart. Okay, as you can see, it's just right above this the 10-day line here. Oops, come on back there. There we go. As long as it's above the 10-day line, in this market, because this is such a hot market, it's very hard to buy these on pullbacks, because a stock like FCEL probably isn't going to pull back to the 10-day line, or if it's going to pull back, it's just going to pull back and then it's going to move right above it. So it's really hard to buy it. It's fairly far extended above that 10-day line, as you can see. That's a pretty big extension. You don't want to have this be any more than about 10% in there. Okay, there we go. So can you buy it here? No, I would be a little bit careful. I would wait for a pullback, possibly to about that level. So let me see if I can give you a place that, where you might even look, or a pullback. And this is hard because, if you want this one, you may have to buy this as a, there we go. Come on, there we go. You may have to buy this one on a pullback. Yeah, and basically the pullback is right to 23. So it's got to pull back about 4. It's got to pull back about almost it's got to pull back almost 20%. So that's very unlikely. But here's the thing: if you do buy it at this level, set your stop loss at about 26.50 is where you want to set it. So that's what I would do if you buy this now. If you buy this extended, set stop loss at about 26.50. Yeah. Oh, I said 33. I'm sorry. Gave you the wrong one there. If you buy this extended, set your stop loss at about 26.50. It's at 27.97. That's a very, very tight stop loss. Here's the thing: this is running, and it may not. It may run some more. I don't know if you're going to be able to catch this one. I did buy this. I did buy this one late yesterday, but it seems like it just seems like it's moving higher. It's up $4 today, so this one might, this is a tough one to buy. It's got an excellent checklist. Basically 88%. It's in the number in the number 2 industry in rank, so it's looking very, very strong. But if you're going to buy this, set your stop loss very, very tight. Don't really necessarily recommend it, but sometimes with these fast runners like this is the only way that you can actually get in on it, is to do that. So it's just oh, here we go. Mr. Singh, hey, thank you. FCEL's up 10%. Should I take the profit or wait? Here's the thing I do, Mr. Singh. Just set your stop loss up. Don't take your profit now. It's running too fast. I mean, this thing could literally double. I mean, you just don't know. So here's my advice on that: set your stop loss, move that stop loss up, and I think that that might work very well. But FCEL is FCEL is a really good one. I'm in it, and I think it's going to move nicely. So yeah, it's really good. Don't take the profit. Push your stop loss up. Wait for it to pull back, before you take the profit. But set your stop loss on this one fairly tight. Maybe less than 5% is going to be the best place to do that. So that's my thoughts. Okay, Fizzy, Pfizer. This is Pfizer. ZE, I believe it is. Is that Pfizer? We used to call it Fizzy. FZE, is that right? Pfizer? No. FZR, maybe it's FCR. Oh, why can't I remember this? let's put it in here. Let's see if we can get FZ. No, it's Fidelity. Oh, what's the symbol for Pfizer? P. Well, I'm gonna go on. Sorry about that. I wouldn't recommend it right now, even though it is a coronavirus play. Just wouldn't recommend it. Let's look at Li Auto. And of course, this is one of the Chinese EV makers, the others being NIO. And BYD, Build Your Dreams, that's actually listed in Hong Kong. Actually, Warren Buffett's a big owner of that one. So let's look at this one. Well, it's an 89. This has been interesting. This and NIO are sort of, been the ones that have been looking the best. It's up $1.47 today. It's got an 89 relative strength. Now, Chinese stocks are hard to play because typically they have far less institutional investment in them. It's just the nature of the beast. This does have some in it though, and the ownership is basically 129 funds are in. So for a Chinese company, that's fairly significant. It's got a good checklist. Basically, 6 out of 9. So that's acceptable in terms of the checklist. It's still not profitable. And so it's really hard to play it. Now, here's the thing. I probably wouldn't buy it at this point unless there was a reversal. And it looks as if it is potentially coming on to a reversal, but it's not there yet. Here's the thing. I would buy this if it moved above about 33.65. So that's my thoughts. I would buy it above 33.65 is where I would buy it. So really to do that, buy Y, buy LI above 33.65, I believe. Let's take a look, make sure that I'm right about this. All right. Well, yeah, about 33.65 is where you probably want to buy it. There we go. Oh, there we go. So buy Li above 33.65. So if it reverses, and currently it's in a downward trend, but it needs to reverse above this. It needs to reverse above this this line here, and then you would have potentially a buy, and that's a reversal. There we go. Let's move it on a little bit. There we go. All right. So here's the thing. It currently has a downward trend, but if you draw a trend line like this, as you can see, now it has a downward trend. But if it moves up above this line, that's where it's potentially going to change direction and move higher. So here's the thing. It's not a good time to buy it right now. It's not a good time to buy it right now. You want to wait until there's a trend reversal. If it moves above about 33.65, there will be a trend reversal on Y, and that's where you want to buy it. So that's my thoughts on Li Auto. It's set up and it's in a good area. So it's a very, very good area. All right. Let's see. Oh, hey, Boris. Hi, Boris. How are you? Thanks for watching the show. I do appreciate it. Hopefully there's something I can give you. Okay, here we go. What's your thoughts on GRBX? Let's take a look at GRBX, and I'm just going to take a quick look at it. Let's take a look. GRBX. And I'm not seeing that one. Hold on. GRBX. All right. Well, I don't seem to see that. I don't know. I can't. I can't I can't see. Are you sure it's GRBX or is it GBTC maybe? But GRBX, unfortunately, I don't have a symbol for that one. Sorry about that. So let's next question. Thoughts on GSAT? GSAT. I don't know that one either. GSAT. Oh, Global Star. Okay. This is satellite communication. This is a good area. This $2. Global Star provides wireless and fixed data. Okay. Well, underserved areas. I think that there was a Iridium. That's one of the other services. I do believe that has moved up as well. I don't know much about Global Star, but I do like this telecom area for satellites. Boy, look at this! Wow, this is very, very interesting. Okay, so it's in Covington, Louisiana. What do you know? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I guess they communicate to the oil rigs. Covington, Louisiana. Okay, 55 relative strength. Fund ownership. Well, it's got some fund ownership in there. Sector 178 out of 193. I would say, oh goodness, I think that at least for now, I think that the best thing to do on this one is probably for right now, and I could be so wrong on this. But I think right now you want to avoid it. Yeah, I think you just do. It's just not strong enough, and it's too low priced for me. Okay, well, thank you very, very much. It's an hour. Thank you so much for taking a look at my little show. By the way, we have a great service. It's called Action Trade Alerts, and it's easy to sign up for. All you have to do is to get it is to go to, subscribe to the Action Trade Alerts and basically just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor. And that's here, www.Dallas Trading Floor, and subscribe to the Action Trade Alerts. If you're looking on TikTok, super easy to do that. Just go to my profile, hit the link, and you can just sign up right there. And first and last name, of course, is free. It's free, and that's a good thing. Also, would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. And, as we always like to say, please subscribe and most importantly, hit that like button. So hit that like. We definitely like to see that. Okay. Well, until tomorrow, I'll be back at 2:30 on Dallas Trading Floor. And I hope to see you then. Happy trading, everyone. Stay safe, and God bless.